Hello and welcome to Pitchside. Now, what a win by Lahore Qalandars, a much-needed win, like we rightly discussed in the pre-match. So 186 for 5 is what they made in their 19 overs and 40 for 21. I mean, it was a quick-fire innings, much-needed, like I said, by Lahore Qalandars. Great partnership in the middle by Daryl Mitchell and Sikandar Raza. And because we're talking about Sikandar Raza, he's also joining us on Pitchside alongside Mark Butcher. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us, Sikandar. Firstly, well done on the win. Because, like I said, Sikandar had, Lahore Qalandars had won 2 out of the 5 games that they had played. So, talk us through the initial thoughts that, you've won finally after losing a few games. How does it feel?
Yeah, it certainly feels good. One of the things we said in the changing room was that a lot of the teams, when they start losing, the characters of players really need to shine. And we did say that in the changing room that if Lahore Qalandars is truly a team where there's a lot of character in the changing room, then today the character has to come out. There was a bit of low energy in the changing room, I thought, because we thought maybe this was a 150, 160 wicket. So when they score that, but feeling towards the square side, I didn't think. I thought the grass wasn't helping the ball to skid through. I thought it was a bit variable pace and variable bounce, but still it was on the lower side. Nothing was shooting. So we were pretty confident about the chase.
I've got to ask you one more thing, though. What is the batting number that you prefer to bat on? Is there a preference? Because we've seen you bat like lower down the order, and certainly the way you bat makes you feel like, I should be batting up.
I never thought about that, to be honest, Zainab. I think the situation... So there is a certain role that I practice for, and when I find the team in that certain position that it's my time, and there could be a day where I walk down, where I walk out of the changing room maybe when the team is just 2 down because it's 13 overs gone, and that is my speciality, that is my role, and I practice a lot. So I don't have a specialized number. I keep in an open mind whenever my team is needed. Once I have that, I always say if I have the team needs ahead of my own personal needs, I should be able to do or at least give my best shot to do the job done, get the job done for the team.
Having said that, though, did you run out of the door just in case Shaheen or somebody else came in front of you this evening? Because it was a really pivotal point in the game where you entered it today.
No. Today it was my turn. It was because they have taken the time out in 13 overs. So that is where I walk out after 12, 13 overs. It's my time. So at no point did Shaheen or anybody sent a message saying that we'll assess her. Asif Ali was sitting behind me, and in the meeting we said that we'll keep you and Asif flexible. But as soon as the 12 over hit, I knew that it was my turn to go out, and I just walked out, and that was it.
What was the chat then between you and Daryl Mitchell when you were out there? Because, Kamran Ghulam in his interview mentioned the fact that he personally didn't find it the easiest wicket to bat on.
Yeah, so what we discussed was, to be honest with you, we kept it really light. We actually asked each other, what do you think he's going to do next ball? And we gave each other some hints, and he said, okay, if that's it, I'm going to trust you and I'm going to play a certain shot. I can't reveal too much, but we kept it lively out there. I think it was very important to stay calm and relaxed, and most importantly, happy. Once you're calm and relaxed, and we kept those jokes coming while we were remaining focused. And a lot of the times we did guess the ball right, what was going to happen, and luckily we pulled it off.
But... it's also been a test for Shaheen Shah Afridi's leadership, because when you have a few back-to-back losses, leadership comes into play. And I'll ask the same question to Sikandar as well. But what have you liked about Shaheen Shah so far?
Well, taking it perhaps a little bit away from the captaincy, I think that the most important part of it was you lose your first home game. Obviously, you come to Lahore and you think to yourselves, this is our fortress. This is where we're going to make a real run on the league table. You lose the first game and don't play particularly well. So then it was very important to come out this time with an attitude whereby you were kind of give everything a proper shot right from the very first ball. Now, funnily enough, first ball from Shaheen was a wide, huge wide almost towards first slip, and you think, oh my goodness, are they going to come out and not be on the ball during the bowling innings first time round? That wasn't really the case. I thought Tom Curran bowled superbly. Shaheen uses all of his variations in terms of his bowling options very, very well. And I think in the end, even under the onslaught from Rizwan and Karam Ghulam at the very end, they all sort of kept their heads, and there was no sort of hint of, this is getting away from us. it looked as though they were thinking, well, this is a good pitch. If they can do that at the back end, then so can we. So I think there's a calmness there in T20 cricket that cannot be underestimated. You need to be able to stay focused on the job and not allow things when they go slightly against you to kind of get into the mindset of the team. The captain doesn't panic. The players around them don't panic. Everybody stays calm and keeps their eyes on the prize.
I mean, that's an important word, panic, because that's exactly what you don't want to be doing as a side after you've lost. I mean, just talk us through what's been the team talk around you, after the losses that you've had.
No, we kept it really positive. I mean, after the last loss, we said that only one guy has got some runs and we still got to 130. I mean, not any other has chipped in. Imagine if one guy had a partnership and we could have got 160. And I thought yesterday, a day before yesterday, when we got 130, had we got 160, it would have been a different game on that particular wicket with the seam attack that we had. So today, all we said was, boys, we actually need two guys to chip in and then basically we can chase this down, and that was all about it, to be honest.
Daryl Mitchell, fabulous player, as we all know, we've seen in international cricket. But how much fun is it batting with somebody who, if he gets a bad ball, he puts it away, hits it for 4 or 6. But in between, he's drilling low-risk shots, always scoring, always turning the strike over.
Yeah, certainly Daryl plays his cricket very smartly, percentage cricket as well. I think apart from one ball that he missed time, everything was on the ground, everything was from the middle of the bat, and that gives you as a batter, gives you a lot of confidence that when I'm taking somebody down, there's a very good chance he's going to come off the middle of the bat, and that gives you that confidence. But he kept talking to me and I kept talking to him, and we kept planning who we're going to target, how many runs are we looking for, and one of the overs went for only 6 runs, and we looked up and we still needed 10.5, so we said this is still doable. So the word you used, panic, there was none when we were batting out there.
Yeah, you can't be a Qalandari and start panicking, because that's one of the things about Lahore Qalandars. They have, the name itself, it resonates calmness, hopefully, within the camp as well. Just a word on the crowd, though, because what we've seen so far is that whenever the Qalandars are playing, it's just been absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, certainly. This question was asked to me in Multan, and my answer was pretty much the same, that in my 2 years previously, Lahore has never let us down. And I know that the little bit or in 2 years what I've learned about Lahore, they're not going to let us down this year either. Our first game was house full, was packed. Today was packed. The crowd kept coming in, especially when we found ourselves in winning position. I thought there were more people coming in to watch us chase that. So Lahore Qalandars, Lahore as a city never let us down, and we've got a few more games here, and before we even get there, inshallah, I know that it's going to be a packed house again. And it's really nice to play in front of a packed house.
Absolutely. The energy and the vibe is completely different. But in terms of leadership, I was asking, obviously, Butch about Shaheen's leadership. Is he the kind who is very consultative, gets the group involved, or he's more quiet and unassuming? What kind of a character is he? We know what he's like on the field, very animated as a fast bowler, but what is he like off the field? I
think as a leader, he's the other way around. He's a lot calm. He gives everybody time to approach him and run the ideas past him. But what I like about him, he makes his own decisions, but he consults everybody, and we all trust him with his decision as well. Daryl Mitchell has been a great addition to our squad as well. Of course, Shaheen comes to me at times as well, think what I'm thinking, how I'm reading the game, what the wicket looks like from square on. So he gives his ear to everybody, but he's a very strong and firm leader, which is nice.
What are the areas, Bush, that you perhaps feel that Qalandars still need to work on, because we still have plenty of more games left in the tournament?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it was a complete performance by any stretch. I also think that the top of the order is something of a little bit of a concern, and that actually, given the depth that you guys have, particularly with Tom Curran coming into the side, that perhaps you might look at opening with Abdullah Shafiq and everybody just sort of shifting up one, because you've still got plenty of batting. You might have needed, Daryl Mitchell himself bowled 4 overs tonight. You might have needed another fast bowler. Is that something that perhaps you might consider?
No, we certainly will consider. I think one thing that we will look at is what the wickets are going to be like, because I never saw Qaddafi like this in the past 2 years. So I was actually surprised to see a wicket like that. So I think hopefully moving forward, it's a decision that management has to make. But the little that I do understand and know that we're going to make that decision, final 11 should be made looking at the wicket rather than just being in the hotels from now on.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think you'll be relieved because you've got 2 more points on that table. It's all about the playoffs. Remember, the top 4 teams are going to be the ones that will be qualifying. So it's a race to the top 4. And where are Lahore Qalandars? Well, they're right behind Islamabad United. 10 points for Islamabad United because they've won all the games that they've played. But Qalandars perhaps sitting in a better place because they have won today, and perhaps much needed momentum as well in terms of picking up in this tournament. All right, Sikandar, I think it's time to let you go so that you can go and celebrate and hopefully come back sooner and do it again, all over again. There's not much, turnaround time in the HBL PSL. So thank you so much. I'm going to let you go. It's a pleasure to have him around, and what a prolific performance by Sikandar Raza as well. On that note, we'll take a short breather, and when we are back, we'll be having a closer look at the game and exactly what happened. So don't go anywhere.